Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 32nd part of explanation of my theory. Now I will tell you. But before, mine, Arıdaşır's each-body-centric action at a distance principle. Remember, the light is the bridge between two realities. Meta-sensation perception matters, universal reality and subjective reality. Action at a distance doesn't actualize us in nothing or in vacuum. This is an illusion for accepted physics. It actualizes in single and unique matter, MSPM, meta-sensation perception matter, through interaction or approaching receding motions of its motion forms, intrinsic motion forms. Action, again, action at a distance doesn't actualize us in nothing or in vacuum. This is an illusion for accepted physics. It actualizes action at a distance, actualizes in single and unique matter, meta-sensation perception matter, through interaction or approaching receding motions of its intrinsic motion forms. Arıdaşır's each-body-centric action at a distance principle for both source motion at rest observer in motion and source in motion observer at rest situations, there is absoluteness simultaneity for the light. Instant interaction occurs between two objects only for in motion as approaching or receding. There is instant interaction between source and us, concern meta-sensation perception matter as a kind of stress. This makes possible absoluteness of simultaneity for the light and objective body-centric universe in our subjective reality for each of us, for each one observer or subject. For instance, now, here there are two realities. One of meta-sensation perception matter reality, empty page, and at the center of this intrinsic electron motion form. Now it is in closed box, okay? For instance, there are three bodies. Here we saw three bodies, okay? We don't see electron motion form now, only closed box. If we open the box again, we cannot see directly the electron motion form, and we cannot see directly its successive waves. For instance, there are three bodies around a light source in closed box. One of at rest at a certain distance, other two in motion. Okay? One of receding from source, other approaching. One of receding, one of approaching. When all these bodies at same distance to source, rest electron motions box opened, and that time the light at rest electron motion form. Now, don't forget, in all direction, this electron motion form, in fact, if it is at rest, okay, in all direction, same wavelength. It produce and propagate same wavelength, successive waves. Now, it is at rest. It doesn't need accelerating. Again, I will tell next. Free electron motion form doesn't need accelerating for producing and propagating successive waves. Okay, now at rest, and we open closed box and we start to see its successive waves. But one of the bodies at rest, one of the bodies receding from electron motion form, another one approaching to electron motion form. Okay. In three cases, as I told you, when all these bodies at same distance to source rest electron motion forms box opened, there is simultaneity, absolute simultaneity. Remember, light is the bridge between two realities. Here, subjective realities and universal reality. Subjective reality and universal reality. It is at rest. Normally, lambda n. This body sends this lambda n. This body receding from free electron motion form at a certain velocity. Remember my formula. What will he see? Lambda n minus delta lambda cosine alpha. Okay. Here, say alpha equal 0, relatively this. Okay. Here. Or say alpha 1. This one approaching again lambda n minus delta lambda cosine alpha 2. Okay. Different. These waves, normal wavelength. These waves at normal wavelength to at rest person. These waves enlarged wavelength relatively to this receding person, and these waves narrower wavelength relatively to approaching person. But they will see the light, all of waves, at the same time. This is absoluteness of simultaneity, and I told you before. Between source and observers relates to they are in motion or at rest, or approaching or receding. Here, This is electron motion form. This is observer, one of them. Approaching one, okay. This is meta-sensation perception matter. In fact, all of these, this is body, complex body, inside of meta-sensation perception matter, finally, eventually. This is electron motion form. Now, erase all of subjective reality, see only meta-sensation perception matter. Here, approaching object. Here, at rest electron motion form. Okay. These limits only motion forms complexes. In fact, we cannot see directly. Only I have drawn them. While approaching a kind of stress in meta-sensation perception matter. There will be a kind of stress, okay? Because of that, normal wavelength will be narrower, okay? Yes, I will explain now. Arıdaşır's each-body-centric action at a distance principle for both source motion at rest, observer in motion, and source in motion, observer at rest situations. There is absoluteness, simultaneity for the light. Instant interaction occurs between two objects only for in motion as approaching or receding. There is instant interaction between source and us, concern meta-sensation perception matter as a kind of stress. This makes possible absoluteness of simultaneity for the light and objective body-centric universe in our subjective reality for each of us, or each one, observer or subject. Now, forget these bodies. According to subjective reality view, we saw this. But now, from now, everything erased. But as if we saw here, electron motion form. Okay. Remember, if electron motion form make displacement or if it is relocating in the direction of 0 degree, its successive waves will be narrower than opposite sides. Okay, remember, 90 degree, 0 degree, this is normal lambda, lambda n. This is lambda n plus delta lambda, lambda n minus delta lambda, okay? Remember, why relocate? Now, electron motion form is at rest, observer in motion, approaching or receding from it. Okay, here, at rest, electron motion form. Okay, lambda, lambda, lambda n, lambda n. In all direction, its waves at same wavelength, normal wavelength. But You are an observer here. Complex motion forms. In fact, you are a complex motion form. Okay. If you are at rest, no problem. Lambda n, lambda n, lambda n, lambda n. At same wavelength, the waves will arrive to you. Here, another person, another body approaching this. Now, mind each body-centric action at a distance principle now works. Between electron motion form and this body's constituent parts, motion forms interaction. Approaching between two of that, there is meta sensation perception matter. In fact, meta sensation perception matter in all points. No vacuum, no limits. But think of as if these parts of meta sensation perception matter are not as if transparent. If they were transparent, as if transparent, there will be no so problem. But I will explain you next. They are not transparent. Okay? Because of metasensation perception matters complex parts here. Light waves cannot come in and cannot exit from here. Now there will be a kind of stress. This is action at a distance between body B, body A, body A here, between body B and electron motion form because of its approaching. Okay, here meta sensation perception matters a kind of stress at the rate of velocity of approaching body. Wavelengths will be narrower relatively to this body. Okay, action at a distance here. Another kind of action at a distance. And third body, for instance, receding from electron. Okay. Between electron and receding body C, okay, stress decreased, stress will decrease, then a kind of stress. These normal wavelengths will enlarge at the rate of this. Okay? Will enlarge. Say, body C. Okay? According to, relatively to body C, wavelengths will be enlarged at the rate of its receding velocity. normal wavelength, small wavelength, larger wavelength. And there is simultaneity, absolute simultaneity, and this is I named Arıdaşır's mime each body-centric action at a distance principle. It's not important whether it is affected body corpuscle or one of living species, one of a body. Okay. A kind of stress, remember, a kind of pressure, remember my first video, meta-sensation, perception, matter. Arıdaşır's each body-centric action at a distance principle relates 5 subject. 1. Joint cyclical and notched motion according to my theory and my formulas. For instance, 2 electron motion forms make joint cyclical motion as first cycle, and this joint motion's first cycle waves of electron motion forms can enlarge without breaking the bond. But naturally, always one must be up and the other must be down. Entanglement. This case was first action at a distance, each body-centric. Okay, I have told you just now. But secondly, this is same subject, in fact. Okay, here a kind of stress, no stress, narrowing stress, okay, increasing stress, say, inside of meta-sensation perception matter between the two, approaching and at rest source, or vice versa. And here, decreasing, don't confuse, there is no density or friction or particle or voids. There are no that facts or concepts, okay? Decreasing stress, okay, between the two. Receding body, between receding body and source, or vice versa. Decreasing stress of meta-sensation, perception, matter. Okay. No stress between electron motion form and body B in meta-sensation perception matter. Okay. I guess I explain. Now, Arıdaşır's each body-centric action at a distance principle relates joint cyclical and notched motion. Here, remember, 2 electron or electron-like motion forms okay, in opposite direction, coincident. Meet and connected, and they made atom bounded or proton bounded joint cyclical motion form. Okay, here electron, here another electron or proton-like thing. Say two electron motion form have made joint motion. It can be enlarged without breaking. Okay. Say, if you affect this, and if this is natural cycle, natural, okay, in meta sensation perception matter, okay, and if you affect this electron part, and if it reverse, okay, naturally, because in same meta sensation matter and connected, these two motion forms are connected, okay, naturally turn up opposite direction, because they have natural intrinsic interaction system. They have joint motion, cyclical form, okay. They are not different. They are not same motion forms. They are different motion forms, but they are connected. It's not important whether at narrower volume or enlarged volume. Connected, bounded. Easily, instantly, they can interact. If we change this, instantly it will change too. This is another kind of action at a distance, each body-centric action at a distance principle, mind principle, okay? And two accelerated, receding each other galaxies, another name in mystical accepted physics view, expanding universe, they say. In fact, space is not expanding. In fact, galaxies receding from each other, okay? Then, because of that, here, say galaxies, okay? Because of that, they light, okay, they light waves wavelength will enlarge remember this. Remember my first explanation. Receding each other and between their spaces, okay. Meta perception, I'm so sorry, meta sensation perception matters, stress, okay, will between receding galaxies, say, okay, will decrease, okay, decrease. Because of this decreasing, light